Thank you for choosing us. Now, Arise Ghana has taken to the U.S. Embassy here in Accra, demanding the immediate return of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Well, according to the group, their picketing will continue until he is brought back to Ghana to face trial of alleged corruption charges.
Live at the U.S. Embassy here in Accra, where Arise Ghana, a group of Ghanaians are picketing the embassy to demand the extradition of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to be brought back to Ghana to face trial of a number of cases. But a pressure group known as Arise Ghana, led by Bernard Mona, who was also wanting to become the president of the Republic of Ghana because he led PNC ahead of the 2024 general election, but that did not go his way when he was disqualified. But this time around, he is leading Arise Ghana to ensure that we get Ken Ofori-Atta into the country. He is engaging the media that I will be speaking to him. But since I got here, I've seen that people are trooping in to join their picketing. We've seen in terms of security, the police have also moved in terms of their numbers. We can't show you the entrance of the embassy because of security reasons. We've been told that we shouldn't show any visuals, we shouldn't show anything that belongs to the U.S. Embassy. But tens of police officers currently are in front of the United States Embassy in Accra here, and also along the stretches I can see that police officers counting about 20 are also behind us and also in front of us. Some are also around to ensure that peace prevail here. And we have Bernard.
What is happening is that he has overstayed his visa in the United States. He has applied for permanent residency in the United States of America. The U.S. realized that once he has overstayed his visa, he cannot be moving around in the United States as a legitimate person. So the Immigration and Customs Enforcement of the USA arrested him. They have detained him so that they can go through the motions as to whether his application for permanency will be granted or otherwise. It's for his personal use. Ken stole our money and gave it to Enterprise Insurance, a company that he founded, and handed over to his wife. The monies that Ken gave...
Allegedly.
What is alleged?
It has not been proven.
I am the one saying it. You are alleging. I am telling you that this is what happened. And Ken and his administration has not denied that they took over 10 million and gave it to Enterprise Insurance. So what is alleged about their admittance that that money was given?
Pressure group Arise Ghana has begun their picketing the U.S. Embassy here in Accra, demanding that the U.S. government deport the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta into the country due to his involvement in some corruption cases during the Akufo-Addo government. Special Prosecutor Kesi Ejabin and his office has leveled 78 charges against the former Finance Minister, with that of the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Anyene, also investigating him, including his offshore dealings. We've been speaking to Bernard Mona, who is the lead convener for Arise Ghana, when he arrives here, and he has been talking about the fact that they need him here immediately in Ghana. Reporting for Joy News, my name is Collins Frimpong, U.S. Embassy.
Well, the man who once held the nation's purse strings is before the U.S. Immigration Court. I'm talking about Ken Ofori-Atta himself. We're monitoring the proceeding closely and give you updates when we have it. Away from that, the Minority Caucus has called for the immediate removal of the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, accusing him of repeated diplomatic missteps that have left Ghana exposed to international issues, particularly over the recent U.S. visa policy affecting Ghanaian citizens. The statement was delivered at a press conference on Tuesday by the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, Nana Safweje. The following report has more.
The minority cited Ghana's response to the alleged unfair treatment and deportation of Ghanaians from Israel, the minister's comments on Israel-Gaza conflict, among others, as examples of what it describes as poor diplomatic judgment.
But perhaps the foreign minister's most revealing failure came in December 2025 with the Israel deportation fiasco. On 7 December, 3 Ghanaian nationals, including conference attendees and a pilgrim, were deported from Ben Gurion Airport 4 members of parliamentary delegation were repeatedly detained for 5 hours. This is undoubtedly humiliating and utterly unacceptable. It is undoubtedly requires a strong protest, a demand for official apology, with a guarantee that such an episode would never ever happen again.
The caucus is also calling for the recall of Ghana's ambassador to the United States, Victor Smith. According to the minority, the ambassador has failed to prioritize efforts to get Ghana removed from the list of countries affected by the U.S. immigration visa restrictions.
Ambassador Smith has apparently forgotten that his job is not to be the government propaganda chief in America. His job is to protect Ghana's interest in Washington, to engage, to negotiate, to prevent disasters like this visa freeze. He has failed catastrophically. President Mahama must recall him immediately. Ghana cannot afford ambassadors who prioritizes press release breaching confidentiality on consular services over diplomatic engagement when our national interests hang in the balance.
The minority wants the president to adopt a number of measures to ensure that Ghana is removed from the list of countries whose U.S. immigration visas have been banned indefinitely.
Now, beyond the removal of the minister, urgent steps are required. So, firing the minister while it's necessary is insufficient move by President Mahama. Must act decisively on multiple fronts. First, he must deploy a presidential special envoy to Washington immediately. This cannot wait for normal channels. The president must send a respected, trusted senior figure with direct authority to negotiate Ghana's removal from this list in a way that is mutually beneficial. Second, we must establish a technical task force linking our Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the Interior Ministry.
The minority is calling on the ministry to organize a comprehensive press conference to explain all official communications between Ghana and the United States over the past 18 months concerning migration cooperation, deportation matters, and visa processing.
Well, international relations expert Dr. Vladimir Entry joins us on Zoom for more on this particular situation. Thank you so much for your time. What is your own professional assessment of how the minister has handled the country's diplomatic matters so far in office?
I do not think I will fault. In fact, some of the language, the temperament, may be not up to scratch. But then I do not think what we have right now constitute enough grounds for sacking him as a minister. I must be frank about that. In diplomacy, and especially in consular matters, you get what you give. And it's reciprocal. Reciprocity is the word. At times, some countries intentionally use it as a ploy to elicit some dialogue, to elicit some giving in. For example, if the Americans want to have a military millipede here in Ghana, they may intrigue you by trying to withdraw some services or put you in some uncomfortable situation, then you rush to a party. I'm not surprised that the minority is even asking that a technical dissent, a special team dissent to go and negotiate. But I look at the whole thing as a little parochial in the sense that if it were not the business that been reduced from 5 years to 3 months and that sort of thing, would any Ghanaian talk about anything at all? The Americans know what to use and when to use it. For me, what Ablakwa did, especially with the Israeli situation, was very, very frank and strong. In diplomacy, you show what the other shows you. If you show weakness, they'll write roughshod on you. So I do not think there is any qualification for this now. If there is a problem with our business, yes, like they are suggesting, we need to go and dialogue. And this is what Americans wanted. They really want people to come forward to come and dialogue. So I don't think that there is any serious thing for Ablaka to be this act.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Vladimir Entry Danso, for speaking to us here on JoyNews Prime.
Away from that, livelihoods have been wiped out and homes destroyed in an inferno that swept through the VVIP Intercity bus station at Circle here in Accra. The fire, which started at about 10:30 a.m. this morning, swept through kitchens, mobile phone accessory shops and others, taking firefighters close to 3 hours to fully get it under control. This is the third time fire has swept through structures at Circle in this month alone. James Aveji has more in the following report.
You count 1, 2, 3 fire officers standing on the roof of one of the shops and trying to bring it under control. There is another fire officer there who is standing right in the middle of the smoke and the flames, trying to give direction to his colleagues on where to direct the water to in order to bring the situation under control.
It's alleged that there's a woman that the fire she cooked at the back at the back of the washroom, and they said the fire started small.
The shops we see here, the place that is burnt, what are the items they sell here?
Normally, people sleep here, and most of the Nigerians that sell Nigerian food, they have the local market that they sell the food stuff. Okay. That is what I know about those people working here.
Okay. So this is not like mobile phone accessories and other shops?
Mobile phone accessory at my left hand side. And most of the people here is where they sell food, drinks, and some people sleep as well.
Like this place now, they are quenching. My brothers have shops there, so...
He's what?
He's selling accessories too, so at the back here, see the building burning there. Okay. Is there
where the fire is still burning?
Yeah. It's the back of their shop is burning like it.
Has he been able to pack his things from the
Yeah.
Oh, as for looking for fire outbreaks in settlements like this, cooking cannot be ruled out. You can see pans, you can see cylinders that has been used, which is an indication. These are all signs that domestic activities are going on here. So these are things that we cannot rule out in our preliminary investigations. You can even video them right here. You can see the pans there, which is an indication that these are human settlements.
Yes, even if it's 50 structures, you can't automatically say that it's 50. You can see one structure with over 10 or 5 people occupying it. So the numbers might be more. So not more we are ever ready. So immediately the fire is down, we'll try and get into it to make sure that at least for tonight, we get them a place to sleep, because this is an unfortunate situation. You wake up in the morning to start your daily chores and this has happened to you. So we will come in immediately to make sure that this evening, what they will eat, where they will sleep, we are able to provide it.
Which items are you providing?
Oh, that one, when we get to the ground, we'll let you know.
Does that mean you will be giving them mattresses, rice, oil as you do?
When we get to the grounds, we know.
Well, the Greater Accra Regional PRO of NADMO, Abdallah Ashelari, has joined us for some update on this disaster. Thank you so much for your time. You are still taking data on the victims. Tell us, have you concluded work on that? And what are the plans for those who were affected?
All right, with regards to the data collection, we are yet to conclude on the data collection. As at 4:30, we were still at the scene assessing the incidents, and the regional minister, together with our regional NADMO director, Honorable Dennis Nate, assured them that when they come tomorrow, we'll be able to engage them again and conduct the data collection. We will identify all of them, their structures, together with the various individuals to be able to know who owns this structure that has been destroyed by the unfortunate fire incident. So tomorrow morning, we will reconvene again at the fire scene and finish conducting the data collection.
But is there any interim arrangement for those who are currently stranded at where the incident happened?
Usually when incidents like this happen, we have our various safe havens where we move the victims, at least for the night. But this particular one happens to be one that's more, troubling because this very scene is earmarked as a marketplace and not a residence. Until this incident, we didn't know that there are actually squatters there, people who sleep there and use that place as their residence. So unfortunately, we were able to, convey this message to them that unfortunately there isn't any place we at NADMO can offer them this evening. They should bear with us and please come back tomorrow. Once we are able to finish the assessment, identify the various structures, we will be able to give them the relief items that each one of them deserve according to their various needs, because some are businesses, some are residents. So tomorrow morning we will reconvene and take it from there.
Thank you so much, Abdullah Larry, for speaking to us here on JoyNews Prime.
Still on fire, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly says it is conducting a comprehensive investigation to ascertain circumstances that led to the devastating fire that erupted at Dagomba Fire Station at Kumasi. A recent inferno swept through the slum, destroying properties and leaving the residents homeless for days now. But touring the fire scene, Chief Executive of the Assembly, Richard Ofori-Agyemang Wedi, said that his office is collaborating with the appropriate quarters to find lasting solution to end the perennial fire outbreaks in the area. More in the following report.
Victims of the Dagomba Line inferno actively rebuilding their homes days after a fire tore through the slum. With logs of wood, the residents erect their makeshift homes clustered along the Subin River. On Saturday, January 17, 2026, a devastating fire swept through the community, ravaging homes and properties worth thousands of cedis. The latest fire adds to the perennial incidences of outbreaks that have rocked the community. Days after the incident, the cause of the fire is yet to be established. People can cook and leave the fire bare. It can blow out and set the entire place ablaze. As of now, we do not know the cause of the fire. Kumasi Mayor Richard Ofori-Agyemang Wedi visited the affected area to assess the situation and offer relief packages to the victims. During his visit, he noted that the Assembly is working to investigate the cause of the recent series of fires and institute measures to end them.
This cannot be reoccurring on an annual basis. Every year, we have incidents of fire taking place at the Dagomba Line. What it means is that there's something that we are not doing right. So we are going to send our NADMO officers and fire officers to come and do a comprehensive assessment of how this place is. And so the Assemblyman is going to lead an effort for us to make sure that we put in place remedial measures to forestall the incidents of annual fire occurrence here at the Dagomba Line. These are brothers and sisters that have come up from the north. They are basically into scrap dealing, and some of them are headquarters. It is not good that every year they will struggle over the period, and then the little savings that they make, fire will come and destroy all that they have gained. And it is important that we take a closer look at what are the militating factors that brings about the fire incidents.
The Assembly donated essential relief items to affected families, including mattresses, mosquito nets, plastic buckets, and bags of rice.
There's nowhere in the world that we do not have squatters. And so, yes, first and foremost, our preoccupation as city managers is to ensure that they are safe. And then we can look at the law. So we want to first and foremost look at their safety and their well-being. And then beyond their safety and well-being, we can look at what the law says, and then we can deal with them on that basis.
Emanuela Inkumini's report read to you.
Well, away from fires, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRT, says it has declared a crackdown on members engaged in unauthorized activities, including the charging of unapproved fares and engaging in short-distance operations. The union says that although most members comply with its regulations, the actions of a few drivers are tarnishing its image and must be brought to an end. Fatal Bayaga has more in the following report.
Members of the union drawn from the various zones across the region assembled at an emergency meeting in Accra to find lasting solutions to the general transport challenges in the capital. This follows a meeting between the national leadership of the union and the Minister of Transport as efforts intensify to address the recent transport challenges confronting commuters, particularly during the morning and evening rush hours. Speaking to the media after the meeting, the union spokesperson Abbas Imoro said the leadership will not take lightly the actions of members who flout the laid-down regulations.
It has been accepted all over that if anybody, any executive misbehave towards the decision taking, that person should be suspended, and the members as well. We say every driver who misbehaved should also receive the same punishment.
So are you saying that now GPRTU is going to wage war against individuals who do not respect these rules?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we've agreed upon. That's exactly what we've agreed upon. And we strongly believe it will work.
He further noted that the union's task force will soon begin operations to identify and crack down on recalcitrant drivers.
They will work during the morning and in the evenings. That is where the problem is, in the mornings and in the evenings. So that is how they are going to work.
When are they starting to operate?
We've spoken today, and some have promised starting immediately from tomorrow.
For members of the union across various transport terminals in Accra, the initiative is commendable, and they believe it will help to restore sanity in the city.
We are the larger number of the transport commercial sector, so if we abide by it, it will compare the rest to also come in.
Yeah, because it is not right to charge passengers multiple times, and those engaging in the practice should stop. I believe drivers should refrain from doing what is wrong, as it will ultimately benefit all of us.
As discussions continue, the union maintains that enforcing discipline among its members remains key to easing the transport challenges in Accra. For JoyNews, Fatah Obayaga, Accra.
Away from that, Vice-Chancellor's Ghana is calling for a more measured approach to resolving the ongoing issues between the University Teachers Association of Ghana, of the University of Ghana branch, UTAG-UG, and the regulatory body, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. In a press statement, UTAG-UG has demanded the immediate resignation of the Director General and the Deputy Director General of the Commission, citing incompetence and administrative overreach. Well, joining us via Zoom right now is Executive Secretary of Vice-Chancellor's Ghana, Dr. Cynthia Senakpeglo. We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime. Also joining us is President of UTAG-UG, Dr. Jerry Doe Harrison. We appreciate your time. I'd like to start with you, Mr. Jerry. Vice-Chancellor's Ghana, they're calling for an engagement. I would like to start with your reaction to that. Is that the way to go?
Well, thank you very much. I don't expect anything else. They are diplomatic, more or less, and so I'm not surprised that they want a more diplomatic approach to this matter. But I believe that they themselves have been part of several engagements that UTAG has had with GTEC and its director, and so I don't know what further engagement they are talking about. These administrative breaches have gone on for far too long. We have engaged them, several times, and VCG themselves have been part of several meetings that we've had. So whilst I'm not surprised, I don't know what other engagement they are talking about, unless they can elaborate on exactly how they think this new engagement is going to yield a different result compared to what we had in the past.
Are you willing to reach a compromise at least and still allow the leadership of GTEC to do their work?
Absolutely not. I think we've given them enough time to demonstrate their competence and show that they have the temperament to lead higher education institutions in Ghana. And they haven't shown courtesy to us. They have been very disrespectful in their dealings with higher education managers. You should be there to see how these individuals disrespect vice chancellors and talk as if all the laws in Ghana belong to them. So I think that we've had enough engagement with them We have tried every possible avenue to use the diplomatic channel to resolve these issues, and these have fallen on deaf ears.
And so what is your next line of action? Should leadership still remain at post? Dr. Jerry? Dr. Jerry, can you hear me? I'm asking what your next line of action would be. Should the leadership of GTEC still remain at post?
Well, as we outlined in our statement, we plan to send a petition to the Chief of Staff if they do not resign honorably. And if that doesn't get heeded, we would definitely embark on industrial action. Because you see, harmony is required for us to be able to discharge our duties to the students. Where we are right now, GTEC has not provided the enabling environment that allows us to be able to teach and to discharge our duties. Academic freedom is being impinged upon. We don't have the freedom to do our jobs easily and freely as it is enshrined in the Constitution of Ghana. And so if the regulator is making it impossible for us to do our jobs, then there's no point continuing. And since it is within our constitutional right to embark on industrial action to demand changes at the helm of affairs of GTEC, we will definitely do that. So we'll proceed to the Chief of Staff if they don't resign honorably. But if that also doesn't get heeded, then don't be surprised if you wake up one day and hear that there's no teaching going on at UG, at the University of Ghana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry Joe Harrison is president of UTAG-UG. Let me bring in the Secretary of Vice Chancellors Ghana, Dr. Cynthia Sena-Kpeglo. We appreciate your time. We've just been hearing from UTAG-UG. They say negotiating is out of the table when it comes to their demands. They want GTEC leadership out.
I want to hear from you, Vice Chancellor Ghana.
I'm hoping you can hear me. Vice Chancellors Ghana, you're proposing that UTAG and GTEC return to the negotiation table, but then we're just hearing from UTAG-UG leadership saying that they're done with negotiating. They want the leadership of GTEC out. Your reaction to that?
Well, as an organization, we have always chosen dialogue and engagement and roundtable discussion. We have never veered off the path, veered on the path of war and rancor and definite, ultimatums. We've never done that. We believe that discussion and coming to an understanding and compromise is always the best route to take, and we will push for that.
But we've just heard from UTAG-UG leadership, and they say that they're not willing to compromise. And so what is your next line of action as Vice Chancellors Ghana to help de-escalate the tension?
I think that's what I've been saying all along. We will encourage us to all go back to the drawing board and find out what exactly is the problem. The issues they've raised, some are specific to their campus and some are generic in nature. And if we go around the table, we are sitting together, then they will learn that many of the generic issues they have raised, we have already, have engagement with GTEC. We've also had engagement with the Minister for Education. And many of these issues are in the stage of being resolved. Sometimes they just require some statistics and logistics to do so. So even if they say it's absolute, we are not seeking a solution to the problem. I don't think that if we get certain people out of the office, then the issues will be solved. There are core issues we need to look at. There are core issues, the matter of retirement and so on, that are embedded in the Constitution. There are ways to go around it, especially for a unique establishment as the university. It cannot be the same as for everybody. And these things, we are already negotiating and talking about them.
Okay.
But I can't speak about their specific campus one, but I can assure you that for all the generic issues, the gray areas, the GTEC regulation against the universities and so on, we are always meeting. In fact, just on Friday, we had a meeting for the Minister for Education. And most of these things were the issues that were discussed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cynthia Sena Peglo. She's Executive Secretary of Vice Chancellors Ghana.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime with us here in Accra. When we return, we'll tell you more about what is happening with regards to Ken Ofori-Attah's appearance at the U.S. court. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us here on JoyNews Prime. Well, as the transport crisis in Accra continues to cause major delays in daily commuting, Metro Mass Transit Limited, MMTL, has deployed 17 buses to help ease rush hour shortages across key routes in the capital. The intervention is aimed at reducing pressure on public transport services, particularly during week or peak morning and evening hours, as commuters continue to struggle to get to their various destinations. Well, MMTL says the move forms part of a temporary measures to support commuters while efforts continue to address the broader transport challenges in the city.
Away from that, Kocharis Ghana Limited, an automobile refurnishing company, is extending added value to its cherished customers with the introduction of a new refurnishing brand, Max Meyer Paint, and a state-of-the-art baking oven designed to give automobiles a superior finish. At a ceremony to outdoor the new business line, the founder and chief executive officer of Kocharis Ghana Limited, Cosmas Maduka, explained how the latest edition will meet the needs of the Ghanaian market. JoyNews' Mamavi Sefakote was at the outdooring and filed this report.
In the heart of Accra, Koskaris Motor has unveiled a new brand to better serve the automobile needs of Ghanaians. Speaking to JoyNews at the unveiling ceremony, founder and chief executive officer of Koskaris Ghana Limited, Cosmas Maduka, shared how this new brand is designed to provide added value to the Ghanaian automobile industry.
We have moved to another level where we are adding value by setting up this new aspect of business. It's called car refinishes, where we do not just have dealers who will supply machines and paint. We are representing the biggest car paint manufacturer in the world here in Ghana, called PPG, with one of their brand called Max Meyer. So that's what we brought to offer the Ghanaian motorists, a product that will add value to you, where we paint your car here, bring it to the same standard like it's coming out of factory.
Managing director of the company, Raphael Agbashinwe, also explained the rationale behind the introduction of this premium brand in the PPG industry.
The objective is to still target the customer that are after quality, the customer that are after the look of their cars, that want their cars to always look good, want a good product, and that's why we are bringing in PPG to add to what we are doing. So we have done well, fairly well.
Head of Refinish Business, Obiora Nibenu, demonstrated how the spraying booth works and highlighted its effectiveness as well as the benefits it brings to automobiles.
The oven has a suction system where it sucks every particle, unwanted particle, either up or down. So it's a control environment that allows you to spray dust-free. You're able to regulate temperature, you're able to regulate the air pressure, and a whole lot. When you're spraying outside, you are at the mercy of the weather. The car only dries according to the temperature out there. But with the boots, if you have at least 5-6 cars, you could spray them in a day because you're able to raise the temperature of the oven to be able to have your car baked within a short period.
Automobile refinishing involves various services aimed at enhancing the aesthetic appeal and preserving the structural integrity of vehicles. With this launch, Coscaris Motor continues to innovate in the automobile sector, combining advanced technology and premium solutions to enhance vehicle care and services for Ghanaians. Mama Vistefa Kote's report read to you.
Well, away from that, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has intensified preparations for its upcoming decongestion exercise following a working visit to key security agencies within the metropolis. The visit, which included stops at the Ghana Post Office headquarters and other security institutions, is aimed at ensuring coordination and effective enforcement during the exercise. According to the Mayor of Accra, Michael Alote, the first phase of the decongestion exercise is aimed at testing the challenges within the city with lessons learned from what initial effort improving planning for the next phase.
Ahead of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly's decongestion exercise scheduled to commence on February 1, 2026, the Accra Mayor, Michael Alote, has paid a working visit to key security agencies within the metropolis. This includes the Greater Accra Regional Police Command, the Ghana Post Office Headquarters, Kanisa Police Station, Mamprobi Police Station, and the Kolebu Police Station. The visit, according to the Metropolitan Assembly, forms part of efforts to strengthen coordination and ensure effective enforcement during the exercise.
I want to work with the police. I have to respect them. If I respect them, they will respect me. That's why I moved to engage them. I can send letters to them that I'm doing decongestion, but I don't think it's respect enough. So once I make time today, I decided to come and inform them that, listen, I want to work with you. I need you to help me decongest the city. And this madam here, they have accepted to help.
According to the mayor, Michael Alote, the first phase of the decongestion exercise served as a test case, and lessons learned have informed improved planning for the upcoming phase, including the provision of designated trading spaces for affected traders.
And the first one we did was a test case for us because for past 8 years, we have not done anything like that. So once we are doing this, we have to put a lot of human face, and we have to create places for them. When we move them, we'll take them to. We brought the famous red line, which was all over the place. The red line is still there. What we are doing now is we are going to enforce. We are going to deepen out the red lines again.
Away from that, let's head now to Kumasi. Chief Executive Officer of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Richard Ofori Ajiman-Mwedi, says the Assembly will forcefully evict defined occupants along the Ahuju-Santase Road. When the Love News team visited the stretch earlier today, the temporary occupants had yet to vacate the premises despite a final eviction notice issued by the Assembly to pave way for preliminary works on the road dualization project. However, the Kumasi mayor says a task force will be deployed tomorrow to clamp down on billboards and other temporary structures erected along the stretch. Emmanuel Brad-Kweku reports.
A typical Tuesday morning along the Santase to Ahuju stretch in Kumasi, with traders going about their daily economic activities. Many of these temporary occupants were expected to vacate the premises for the road dualization projects following a final eviction notice from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. But they continue to occupy spaces along areas earmarked for the road construction.
The government came to write our names and promised to give us a place to relocate, but we have not heard from them. We will leave when we see that the work has begun.
The Assembly, after deliberations with car dealers along the route, agreed to relocate them, but the business owners are concerned over the state of the allocated areas. Davis Echampon is the secretary of the Car Dealers Association in the Ashanti region.
Those places are okay. For most, the one at behind the forestry department, we even proposed there for them, and I think Zuba have already completed with the issue of the land. He also, through his leadership, acquired Golden Tulip, the down area there for us. And then the parks and gardens. But parks and gardens, there's a land there, but it will not help us unless it is well developed because of the flooding of that area. Because we can't put expensive cars there, and then when it rains 1 or 2 days, the whole area gets flooded.
Kumasi Mayor Richard Oforiajiman says the assembly is ready for a forceful eviction beginning tomorrow.
Compensation agreement with anybody whatsoever. Those at Asukwa stretch, you have seen that the construction has begun and they are moving them. We have asked them to come for us to look for alternative places for them. If you don't come and the construction meets you, that's your headache. Nobody has any title to any land there. So they cannot use that to sabotage us. Some have come. We have relocated them. Sit at your car garage and expect that I will come and kneel and beg you to move from the place. When the construction gets to your destination, you move whether you like it.
Works are steadily progressing here at the Asokwa interchange that would link to the Ahojo Santase road dualization. And as you can see behind me, culverts have been mounted and contractors are on site, ensuring that this phase of the roadworks will be completed. But for the temporary occupants along the Santase Ahojo stretch, they want their concerns heeded to in the coming days or months before they move out. From here at Santase and Asokwa in the Ashanti region, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweko.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime. Well, before we go, let's tell you about former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who is currently in a U.S. court.
Yeah.
And Fosti, what do we know so far about what is happening currently at the court?
Well, initially, the hearing was public, but we are told that lawyers for Ken Ofori-Atta has requested for a private hearing. We initially got access to the Annabelle Immigration Court stream online, and we were following and monitoring the proceeding, although at a point in time we had a lot of individuals joining the stream, interrupting proceedings. But then now we're told that Ken Lawyers has pushed for private hearing. You could see that just behind we have that visual when
a while ago
when he took his turn before the Immigration Court. We know that today a lot of individuals have been going before the court for various offenses. Since his visa has been revoked, he's trying to make a case as to why exactly the U.S. should still give him the chance to be in the States.
So we know now that his lawyers have filed for private hearing.
Indeed. But
which makes it difficult for anybody else anywhere to track what is happening in court.
But we're Joy, so we're there. We have our men on the ground monitoring the proceedings, and that's why you should stick and stay with us, because we'll be giving you updates here on the JoyNews channel.
Exactly. We are independent, fearless, and credible.